I started the inaugural Amateur Boxing Association and that's where we got Andre Seymour from our national coach. I brought him up. He went to two Olympics. In fact, I was one of the first coach boxer to the final 16. Andre is the first being to win two fights at the Olympics in 1988. So then I went to Freeport and I started rewired Freeport back in boxing in the 85. Loxie Thompson and myself. Then I went back to Albuquerque to the north. I started the boxing club, boxing association here too.
Okay.
So it was all around. My legacy is always leave a boxing association.
Yeah, so I want to know about those early boxing in the country. I always hear about this hanger boxing.
Oh yeah.
And I hear that was the most exciting boxing ever.
Yeah. But at that time, the Oaksfield Hangar was the place for boxing. I mean, that was the place. And you had much better, a lot of competitors at that time. The Ray Myers, the Dawkins, and all of those guys, the Boyd Perry, the Boston Black, Austin Tonius and all the Woods fellas. So you had a lot of guys, and then boxing was a big probably every month or every 2 months. Ernie Barn, Tanner Barn, all of those guys. Then after that, it would move up to the Nassau Stadium. Charleston and Thompson and Smith did a wonderful job of doing promoting boxing.
So you had a boxing card about every month?
About every month. I mean, the undercard was full with Bahamian going against American because that was the level that we were at.
Right.
I think the fights we were hit by the fights recession in the 80s when that fights happened and remember that boxing is the only sport in the Bahamas you got to pay your opponent. You have to pay the person who's taking the part. All the other sports, And part of the for Royness also is that the guys here saw them fellas in the state making all of that money, and then sometimes they outprice themselves.
Okay. So that's sort of brought the demise of boxing.
Yeah, along with the economy, Charleston, it's hard to find promoters because after Charles Thompson and them stopped, no big promoters coming along.
Yeah.
So we had a big gap, and I think in '88, the Amateur Boxing Association we turned 12 young men pro, and that because we had it all lined up. Okay, these guys we'll turn them pro, and they'll take boxing for the next probably 10 years, and we had another group will come up and turn pro, and it was continuous. But when the economy hit and those 12 guys turned pro, and now we had a bunch of good young men that could have done well. Ray Minus was at the top of his game then. Stephen Larrymore was at the top of his game. So they were two meaty men fighters. Zeke the Sheik was at the top of his game. And these guys could be undercard for those fellas and carry the show on until they get to be meaty men. But the economy fell out and promoters stopped promoting because of money problem.
Right. Yeah, I thought boxing took a sort of hiatus for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what I saw was Quincy Pratt. I can remember Quincy Pratt coming back with Ray Myers, sort of brought the life back into boxing locally.
Yeah, that brought the life. Quincy Pratt and Ray, I think they fought about 3 times. I refereed two of those bouts. And then another big one was Killer Coakley and Ronaldo Minus. I refereed that also. So, we started to come back and then it fall back off again.
Tell me that era about Elijah Obed.
But Elijah Obed.
That era.
The Elijah Obed was in that era with the Minuses then too. You had so many good boxers, but Elijah Obed was just a gifted boxer. Nothing you could do with him. He had an educated left jab, and boxing was his thing. That was a gift he had.
How did he come up?
Well, Elisha, by that time when Elisha came up, we didn't have the amateur boxing federation at the time in the early 60s because the amateur boxing federation formed in 1969 or 68, somewhere around there. But what they used to do at that time is them fellas is to blindfold you and you go in the ring and you just throw punches at whoever. You don't know who you're hitting. And that would be a big entertainment. And that's where Elisha Obed started off there.
Wow.
And that would tell, someone pick him up, Mr. Larry Forsythe. Pick him up and start training him.
That's a local guy?
Local guy, yeah, Mr. Forsythe, the late Larry Forsythe.
Okay. And it was just history. His
The rest
accomplishments
is history.
unbelievable.
Yeah, the rest is history. Unbelievable is right. So that goes to show that what could accomplish right here all the time. I mean, you could start your career like anything else. You start your career here, and when it gets to that point, you got to go off just like playing any other sport if you want to go to the international circuit.
Right now, I remember the next boxer I remember too was Ernie Barr.
Ernie Barr was another good boxer. Very Irish-born Ernie Barr was very good. Good amateur too. He was a light heavyweight. I was a heavyweight at the time. And all of us used to go to Miami to take part in the Golden Glove together. Ernie Barr went very far too. He was a good guy. He made his contribution to boxing. And because of the fellas like them, boxing was very respected in the Bahamas and around the world. Because Ernie Barr went to Australia, lost several fights by hometown decision with the Commonwealth champion. He did well for the Bahamas.
That class of boxing back then compared to Reach a Major now, how would you class it?
Oh, there's no comparison. That class back then, that school back then was far ahead. And that because they had constant competition, and good training. And, like, those guys gonna get good training partner right here. But now, like, the Reach a Major, they've got to go to the States and pay money to get training partner, and it costs them. So, they can't get a proper kind of training and sparring as they really would like to. But at that time, you had so many boxers that you could get good sparring from.
And let me ask you, the level of professionalism back then in terms of money, was it big? Because now it's $1 million operation, and what you need to put into it is so much different.
Yeah, you mean internationally or not?
Even locally?
Well, locally, I think, but when a guy, but things was cheaper then, so $1,000 or $2,000 was a lot of money in them days,
Yeah, now it's nothing.
Now it's nothing. You cycle around the corner, buy some gas, and that's it.
That's right.
At that time it was good money, $2,000-3,000. Elijah Obed and Ray Minus, they got $15,000 in the 70s.
Wow.
So that goes to show that the level that they were at that time, people wanted to see them when they boxed on Iraqi.
You mean locally?
Locally, that was for the Bahamas welterweight champion.
Now what is the push like?
The places can't be that much because the guys are not able to draw.
The draw
And
crowd, yes.
I hope I must give Mr. Stubbs credit for what he's trying to do and bring back boxing. And he's doing it at a high level around the hotel. So that's good, and I hope it all works out for us.
Yeah, boxing can be very rewarding financially.
Yeah, oh yes, very rewarding. I think boxing is the highest paid sport in the world. When you check the Forbes magazine, you'll see Mayweather or Pacquiao.
Yes.
At 1 and 2. The Mayweather, how much? He get $72 million for his last fight. When there's other guys sign contract, they sign like $72, $80 million for 5-6 years.
That's right.
This guy make that. He make $100-some million of 2 fights every year.
Yeah, man. That's sports.
So that's it there.
Yeah. So to our class of boxers, how about comparing us Olympic-wise? Olympic and Commonwealth, I think, in CAC. Well,
the CSC games, last CSC games, we won a gold medal there. Wellington Knowles. In the last Commonwealth games, we won 2 bronze medals there, Wellington Knowles and Carl Hill. Well, we didn't make it to this Olympic, but won in 2012. 2012, 208. Johnson, he made it to the quarterfinal. So we have a good stock. With what the Amateur Boxing Federation did is we put a 10-year plan in place. It's expired next year. So we you take it along the way. So we're getting ready now to put another 10-year plan in place. And from that plan, we had the boxing leaders to the quarterfinal and the quarterfinal, final 4 in the Olympics. We had gold medals in the CSC game. We had a bronze medal, 2 bronze medals in the Commonwealth Games. We had a number of championships in the continental games.
Okay. So tell us about your referee career as a boxer too.
Yeah, well, the refereeing career was a spin-off from boxing. Alvin Sargent and I, we went way back together. And one night we look around, we see, the Chippy and Boo and all them, and Smitty and all them reaching that point. And he and I decided, we stepped in and we did refereeing. At that time, the boxing was on its way out, professional boxing. So my biggest fight was with refereeing was Minus and Quincy. I did that twice. And another big fight was Coakley and Ronaldo Minus.
Any international?
I was referee at the main events.
Main event. Any international refereeing?
No, well, international referee and amateurs.
Okay.
Because I'm not qualified now because I haven't taken the test, but I was qualified then I refereed the CSC games and many North American championships.
Yeah. I'll ask you this question. What was your call with Quincy and Ray? Was that one of your most memorable fights?
Yeah. No, one of my most memorable fights was I think I'll always remember that was Ronaldo Minus and Killer Coakley. Killer Coakley got hit, and I took him to the corner and counted on and asked him how you doing. I asked him how you doing. He said, doing well. He wanted to say, asked him if he wanted to quit. He said, yeah. And when I do something, oh man, don't, caused a big stir. But that was, Killer Coakley putting on that face. No, why you stop the fight? Why you stop the fight? I tell you I want to stop.
Yeah, I don't think he won that fight.
yeah, so that was a good experience. I had some good experience in boxing. Of course, boxing is all, no matter where I go in sports, boxing is my love. Boxing is the one who got me to be president of the Olympic Association through boxing.
Okay.
I've been president. I was first elected president in 1984, and I served for about 8 years. And I take time off at the time. I had a young son coming up, and I wanted to spend more time with him. So I took 4 years off, and I came back in as Alvin Sargent was president then. And I came back as Alvin Sargent, vice president. And in 2000, I was elected president again. I've been president ever since. I think the people in boxing, my love them, so they feel so, they felt always proud of my accomplishment. They were so happy when I was elected for the first time as president of the Bahamas Olympic Association at that time. They always behind me. Most election campaigns, I never had an opponent.
And then this your first, you were first boxing president.
Yes,
to take over.
Yes, and that's really what they love. The show. Because, people look at boxers and say, oh, they ain't got no sense and all of that.
Right.
They can't do nothing. They only want to fight. But I was happy to go there and show them that being boxing have the same capability as anybody else.
That's right.
In administration.
And you leading the most prestigious sporting organization in the country.
Yeah, that's the #1 sporting organization. We're responsible for all multi-sports games in the country.
Okay, tell us a bit about the BOA, formerly now the BOC, the structure.
Well, the BOA was formed in 1952. It was formed it was formed really after Sir Hewitt Knowles went to London. Went qualified for the 1948 Olympic Games, and the Bahamas wasn't independent. He had to sail for Great Britain. And he came in fourth, but he didn't win no medal. He broke his mast at the time. Still didn't manage to end up fourth. And so some great Bahamian, they Paul Adley father and a couple of other guys, they said, look here man, this ain't happen no more. We forming our own Olympic Association. So it was formed then, and of course in 1964, so you would won a gold medal at the Tokyo Olympic Games.
And at the time, that was for the Bahamas.
So that's the time that was for the Bahamas.
So the 48-56 was for the Great Britain.
For Great Britain, yeah.
And I guess we still flew their flag though, right?
We had to, because we went under Great Britain. Now, he couldn't take part unless he was going with the British team, because he had to go to Great Britain to get for the qualifier, in order to get on the Britain team.
So our independence was in 1973. So 76 was the first time we went as a country, the Bahamas, with our own flag.
With our own flag, yeah.
That's right.
With our own flag, yeah.
I think, who's the president at the time?
Sarlington Butler became president in 1973.
73.
Yeah.
So he took us into our place. That's memorable.
Very historic, yeah.
So tell us about the new structure of the
Well,
BOC.
Yeah, well, in the latter part, in the last quadrennial, last 4 years or before, from 2008, the IOC wanted everybody to call themselves committee instead of association. So so that's what we did. We formed into committee because a lot of the association is forming into committees as requested by the IOC. They haven't put any pressure on it, but you never know what's going to come down the road. And particularly for small countries, what they could rally up on and get down on. So we comply with that and become a Bahamas Olympic Committee, and on July 11th of this year. Or not July, August, April 11th of this year.
Wow, that's pretty recent.
Yeah.
That's pretty recent. So the
Well,
structure.
that's when the new constitution was accepted by
Right.
the IOC, and then the new name change and everything.
Right. So tell us some people on your board right now.
Well, we have now 11 executives, 6 vice president, Roy Colebrook, Robert Butler, Darren Donaldson, Smith, Joe Smith from volleyball, and we have Cora Hepburn as one of the vice presidents, Romel Knowles as secretary general, Kathy Dillette as assistant, we have Darcy Ryan as treasurer, and Campbell as Clarence Rowe as assistant treasurer, and Butler as another vice president.
Right. So and then in your structure now, you get prepared for 2012, 2020.
We're prepared for 2016.
16.
Yeah, because the Olympic operated in every 4 years, which we call the quadrennial years. 4 years is their quadrennial years. Everything they do is within that 4 years, leading up to the Olympic Games. That's the one with all the splendor and glory that
Right.
everybody just know the Olympic by the Olympic Games. But the Olympic Games is much bigger than that. But next year we have four games to attend. We have first the Commonwealth Games in July.
And where's that?
That's in Glasgow, Scotland.
Glasgow, Scotland.
And then we have the Youth Olympic Games. That's in China. That's in August.
In August.
And then we have the Olympic Festival in Mexico. That's over a 2 months period. That's from July and August.
Is that a sporting event?
Yeah, it's a sporting event, yeah. And then we have the CAC Games in November. But the Olympic Festival is set up much different, not as such as all the other games. Because what they will do is, let's say, swimming will be this week, or swimming in some other sports and some other sports. And this is why it ran over for so long.
It runs for 2 months?
2 months, yeah.
So you just have, say, a group of track and field go for this month?
Yeah, not for a month, for whatever time it's going to be.
Oh,
That's the track and field for 5 days. They go for 5 days.
Then the swimmers go.
And the swimmers go. Or they might ball together. You never know. How they have to have it set up.
Have you been to this before?
No, this is the first time. This is
The
just
first
a
time?
historic one. Yeah.
Oh, the first?
Very first.
I never heard of that one.
No, there's not much people here, but that.
Okay.
We haven't gotten out here.
It's called the Olympic Festival.
Olympic Festival.
And it's going to be every 4 or 5 years?
Every 4 years, I suppose.
But that's a lot on the calendar.
Yeah. So we have a busy year this year.
Yeah, because you're responsible for the Pan Am Games as well.
The Pan Am Games is in 2015 in Toronto, Canada. Yeah, we're responsible for that.
The Pan Am Games.
Yeah. Only one. The Pan Am Game is only one game in 2015. That's
Okay.
the Pan Am Games.
And that's every 4 years as well.
Yeah. And then the Olympic Games is right after that.
So how are we doing? I understand that golf has made it to the Olympics, and baseball and wrestling made it back, or softball.
Wrestling made it back. Softball and baseball haven't made it back.
Just wrestling.
Wrestling. Just wrestling.
And golf is in the 2020 Olympics.
Yeah, golf was in the 2016 Olympics.
2016.
Yeah.
So what are the Bahamas doing at that level? I
Well,
think we have 3 women golfers. I know Georgetta Rowe.
Georgette Rowe, yeah, she's
And,
one
two
of
other
them.
girls.
And Duncan lady.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what are they qualifying from?
Well-
do you give the orders to qualify?
Do I do it?
Do you as president?
No, the international body said they qualify in standard.
Right.
The International Golf Federation said they qualify in standard.
So what's done locally from your standpoint?
Nothing in terms of that. They'll have to go and qualify first.
Through their association, through the Bahamas Golf
Yeah.
Federation.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, so any talks about us being in the golfing?
That's that's gonna be tough. What it says, they don't looking for no. And sometimes they probably wouldn't. They're gonna wait. That's gonna be by invitation. I mean, by your ranking.
By your ranking.
Yeah.
But are they have tournaments to qualify?
Yes, I'm sure they have golf tournament to qualify. Just gotta go there.
Okay, as we take our first break, we're talking to Wellington Miller, president of the Bahamas DOC, and yeah, we will be taking our first break.
Radio 103 invites you to enjoy breakfast, lunch, or dinner at the Cricket Club. Yes, the Cricket Club. Eggs Oval. We're on Monday. The specials are curry chicken and curry mutton. Tuesday, crab soup. Wednesday, okra soup. Thursday, pea soup. Friday, crab soup. Saturdays, boiled fish. And every day, enjoy steam cone, oxtail, scoop with side orders, British breakfast and menu items. British at the daily trash grab. Enjoy 2-for-1 between 4 and 7 p.m. daily. Look out for a lunch giveaway right here on Sports Radio 103 from the Cricket Club. And for the Thanksgiving special, Christmas special, New Year special, all at great prices at the Cricket Club.
That's happening on
West Street.
Sound and lighting for your church, or instruments for your band. Audio plus, equipment for your DJ set, or audio for your car. Audio for lighting and musical things and more. Come to the bigger and better musical store. Come down to Audio Plus.
Located Soldier Road North, south of the Village Road roundabout. Phone 394-6668. Musical store. That's
What is this spot gonna be?
More about viewers and how is operation. Welcome back, folks. You're listening to Hanging Out with T. Roy, and my guest today is Mr. Wellington Miller, President of the Bahamas Olympic Committee. Yeah, we're going to talk about some more Olympic Federation stuff. First of all, we have in February we have the Sochi Games coming up, and I think we have possibly, I understand, the Bahamian may qualify.
Yeah. We're hoping that his last ranking was in 48. And then his whatever he's doing.
I think it's snowboarding.
Snowboarding, yeah.
Snowboarding.
48 and then. And talking to him, he believe he can qualify here up until the end of this month and early January.
Yeah.
To qualify. He was 48 and he believed he could get down to the lower 40s and he could qualify.
Yeah,
But that'd be very historic, be good for us. Be good for us, you know.
I think our first Winter Olympic entrance was our last Olympics, right? 4 years ago.
Yeah, I don't think he didn't make it the last 4 years.
Last 4 years.
Yeah.
But he's a snowboarder, and I can't wait for the first Bahamas bobsledding team. Are you working on that,
Yes,
Mr. Miller?
I understand there's some Bahamian in the States who are practicing bobsledding. Maybe it's be it's 20s. Maybe be for the next one. I'm sure it wouldn't be for this one.
Well, tell me about it. I'd love to join that team, man.
Yes.
There's so many other Bahamians.
There's some college, I understand, there's some Bahamian who do that, which is good. And if they make it, it shows the other part of sports that what we really want to do. You know, let people see that there's a summer game and there's a winter game, and you can make it and become famous from any one of those games.
Yeah, that's right. And I'd like to say that I think it's about 3 or 4 Caribbean countries already qualified for the Sochi Games.
We have Cayman Island, we have the British Virgin Island, we have the U.S. Virgin Island, we have St. Lucia. And
how about the Jamaicans?
Guyana, and I think the Jamaican probably qualified again too. I mean, for their grand entry and what they did for the games too.
Yeah,
you
yes.
know, they show that countries from sunny places can make it to the Winter Olympic, and I think that they're looking forward for countries from the Caribbean or other sunny countries to make it to the Olympic, and that's a good push for them and for us.
Yeah. Yeah, Mr. Miller, let's talk a bit about what keeps everybody in the sport and that helps them, the funding. The funding aspect.
Yeah,
I think.
the funding aspect is very, very critical. And like any organization, sports have felt the economic run turned down, and that's why you see many of them are not performing or taking trips as they would usually do, because sponsors, where you go for sports, the sponsors is down. But the Olympic Committee have its own resources, have its own place where they get their resources from the IOC. The IOC makes sure and did that for us because we are completely independent. We don't depend on government for nothing. We source our monies from the IOC to send our team off for PASO. PASO's Pan American Sports Organization that are in charge of all of the Americas.
Right.
And we source our monies from them.
So these 4 teams you set it up next year. Approximate cost.
I see. Glasgow is very expensive. I think that the CSC Games is going to be the more costly one because you take more athletes to that one. That probably could run us at about $200,000-300,000.
And that CAC means all disciplines as well?
Yeah. Well, CSC have 40. They have the most discipline. They have 40. They have 32 countries, 43 disciplines, and 32 countries and 42 disciplines.
Yeah.
And they brought their athletes to come down. They're only taking 4,800. So now in the CSC Games, you're going to see better athletes too, because the CSC Games now have qualification. First time it was no qualification, so you find countries sending athletes right. So
Right.
I remember this, and I saw it in the last CSC Games, and we talked about it in the boxing meeting over there. This particular country bring, I think, 7 boxers. None went past first round.
Okay.
So that gave them, said, the next race start right there. And look, we got to get better. We got to start having qualifiers, coming to qualifiers. Who don't qualify, don't come.
And this is in all disciplines?
And this is in all disciplines. This is how the sports is doing. And next game is you're going to see do that. This is the last time the Commonwealth Games too is going to let you bring your own athletes. In the 2019 Commonwealth Games, you have to qualify.
Wow.
Qualify. Because it's better, it's higher standard. The Commonwealth Games was known as the friendly games, and that's why, some of the reason why they wouldn't get into big name athletes.
Right.
Because, nobody was qualified, you just send a team.
So your cost next year is close to $500,000?
Oh, they will have. We're running $1 million easy.
Wow.
Or over $1 million, yeah.
But sports is
Sports is very expensive.
It's very
expensive. Very.
So,
but that's so good. And one thing I'm happy that it appears to me now that the government get the wisdom to let sports be a part of their promotion. And I think it's good for us because if we can get in the door first, because other countries are now around the world are promoting sports. Singapore made last 4 years $20 billion from the sports industry.
Wow.
And they were able to, through the sports industry, they were able to employ over 20,000 persons. You can imagine that?
Well, we need to use that model.
Yes, and that's Singapore.
Right.
So they've been and build the infrastructures and they pay it off for them.
So athletes that are always needing funding, do you feel like we should do a lottery?
I supported the lottery. I think it's a good thing. It's a good thing. I think it's could help the country in many ways, not just sports. I would hope that sports be one of the main thing for it, because sports runs so deep, and we can do so many things from sports and help so many people, young people, to get out of where they are. Sports is one of those things that you could be in the gut of the day and you get involved in it and put you up there with the top. And the Olympic Committee, the Bahamas Olympic Committee is running now 2 programs weekly. We have a program down at Flamingo Gardens in Golden Gate. So we have about 200 people there, 4 days a week. We have another one at in Foxhill, the school in Foxhill, and the same thing. People are coming out.
Okay.
People want to get involved, and I'm telling all the federations, associations, that's a good place to go. down Carmichael Road and pick out some athletes. Because the young kids are coming there, boys and girls are coming there. So you can go there and look around and see who have some runs on there and see who you prefer.
Yeah.
Who you think will make it in your sport.
Yeah, and I understand that this new BOC, which you're president of, you're doing this new sports now. You have about 5 new disciplines.
Yeah, that's another good thing that we have on coming on the screen. We have rowing, we have handball. Handball is big in Europe. It's just getting big in the Americas. It's very, very big in Europe.
And it is played with two persons or
So
one.
it's played similar to basketball. That's the same thing. The only thing, the ball is much smaller. And instead of having the net on the ground, they have the net on the floor like a soccer.
Oh,
Soccer
they're
net.
throwing it like
throw it, yeah. So
field hockey.
Yeah, so have a 12-man roster. And it's very, very, very fast, very entertaining. It's coming to America, and a couple of Caribbean countries have it now. And really young, the new people in it, we're going to get tournaments among ourselves. Fencing is big in America. Every university is a scholarship that you can get a lot of, sports that you can get a lot of scholarship for. So we have that on, and that is doing good too. We have Anthony Lewis. We sent him, he been away on 3 courses already, the fencing course.
Fencing.
Of course, he has some fencing coaching experience from way back when he was living in Freeport. So now we now have him in that program, and he's teaching that sports, and he's doing well, and people are coming out. And then the other one is rowing. Rowing is doing well too. The fellas, they're going off on a course. And people don't understand the importance of having a coach who knows a good technical coach. Because if you don't have a good coach, you could lose out.
That's right.
You got to be able to know the rules and just know the technical points and do it.
Yeah,
and
this
we
is long
lose many
overdue.
things. We lost, and that's what the part of the Bahamas Olympic Committee is all about, to make sure that our coaches are qualified, make sure that our presidents of various sporting associations are qualified, going on several courses at all times. Already this year, we already sent off about 5 coaches. And next year, we have a lot of courses going on again.
Yeah, so I would say maybe in a say 2 Olympic span we'll see like some Olympic medals with fencing, rowing. And those
Yeah,
are
I think
sports.
the next Olympics, next 2 Olympics is a good forecast. We could have some people here from fencing.
Yeah, and that's great.
Make sure that there's and rowing. It's good.
I think it was long overdue, us taking a part in more.
And
more
it
disciplines.
gives some youngsters other opportunities rather than looking at the track or boxing or swimming. Not everybody gonna make it in them. I mean, you could be cut out for another sport.
That's right.
You would never know it because you never played it and then never had an opportunity. But you get a good sprinter, a good fencer.
So how is it? Let's say let's look at basketball. I would say we had top players all along that can play with a Olympic style basketball. Would it be you as president or the Basketball Federation to get our team qualified?
The Basketball Federation. We take over after they qualify. We help them to qualify and have a system of finance and all that. But it's the Basketball Federation who got to prepare. Any organization, you got to prepare your own athlete. To
Also the associations.
Yeah, they connected to the International Association. The International Association have the qualifiers as to who would go. Not who would go to the Olympic, but they have the qualifiers as who would attend and who win and how would win and they go to the Olympic.
Yeah, because I think we had some near misses. We had a Rick Fox, we had a Michael Thompson. I think in those years those guys played, they had a supporting cast of good local players that could have played at that level, man.
Yeah. At that time too, sometimes the finance too, because the guy, we have a lot of guys playing over in Europe, we get guys playing in Israel, we get guys playing in Germany, but then it costs money again to bring all of them home or take them away from their livelihood, and then when they come here or come here to gel with all the other players and to go away on a team, it's their livelihood cutting out. And Whether they're going to, and then again, when the guys have contract, it's very difficult to,
Yeah.
you don't know what's in the contract.
Hey, let's talk about this upcoming World Relays. I think the IOC is putting this on.
The IWF.
IWF.
Yeah.
Has nothing to do with IOC.
No.
Nothing to do with that. Okay.
But then again, that's another part that should be good, will be good for tourism in this country. I think that will draw a lot of people, and tourist dollars will be coming in through sports.
That's
You know,
right.
so I'm looking forward for that, and I think it's going to come off, and we're going to have a good show.
Yes.
You know, you look at next year too. You have that Bahamas Marathon.
Marathon Bahamas.
When that's here for that weekend, they estimated to spend about almost $20 million, bring $20 million in the country.
So that's great for the
So
Bahamas.
that's great for the Bahamas, and you know, sports is something that go way. Everybody hear about it. I remember one time I was in Egypt, and I was walking downtown. This gentleman asked me where I'm from, and I told him Bahamas, and immediately the Golden Girls, the
Oh, yeah.
win the Olympic. You know, and that's how far sports reaches. I mean, when those guys won that the Golden Knights won that medal there. So many, when we get back to the hotel, there's so many little countries coming to us and asking us how we did it. And you know, those are countries they swear that in 2016 they're going to beat America. They're going to beat the.
Yeah, that 2012 was something for us.
Yeah, that was something, man. They came in, me in the hotel. You would think I was the prime minister. Everybody was coming to you. And sports make everybody happy, right? You look at when a city win a championship, everybody's
That's right.
happy, and it lasts for a while.
Yes. Let's talk about some past presidents. I think the immediate past was just, both of them were just honored. Mr. Allington Butler,
Arlington Butler, yeah.
as well as Mr. Backford as well.
Yeah, but they're both of them. But the Bahamas Olympic Committee honored Sir Arlington Butler. We honored
Okay.
him on November 1st. He was honored with the Pierre de Coubertin Award. Pierre de Coubertin is the discovery, first person discovered of the modern Olympic game, as they say. And he was 100. If he was alive, he'd have been 150 years old. So the IOC did a special award for him.
And that's the highest?
But that's the highest now, yeah. Sir Arlington got the highest award, and that was the first time that award was given out to anybody in the Americas.
In the Americas?
In the Americas. Of the
Wow.
Human brothers.
I didn't know that.
That's, I'm telling you, the Heman was the first time that award ever given in any country, right? It was at the Bahamas.
Okay. And
You know-
he was always also honored as a Hall of Famer?
Yeah, he was also honored as a Hall of Famer. You had 4 persons from the Olympic Committee, or from the Olympic Association, who was honored. You had Sir Arlington, you had Reverend Enoch Backer, he was one of the vice president. You had Mr. Roscoe Davies, he was one of the vice president, and Livingston Bosford was assistant secretary.
Okay.
Yeah, so there were 21 persons, you had 4 who was involved in the Olympic movement. But not only was they involved in the Olympic movement, they were involved in sports all their lives. But then at the end part, that's where they were.
Yeah, so tell me about this award again. This is the first time in the Americas.
This is the first time in America someone received the Pierre de Coubertin Award.
Pierre de Coubertin Award.
The first time, the Bahamas was there.
The first time. So this award has just been given out about a few times.
I've never been, that's the first time.
I thought it was just in the Americas. It's first time ever.
First time.
Wow. Yeah, it says it.
You know, we got it right off the press after they finished it.
Wow.
Right off the press.
So it says about Mr. Sir Allington Butler's contribution to sports around the world.
Sports, and yes. And we were looking forward to honor him. And you know, another big part of history here, so you would know, the first gold medal is the second oldest Olympian alive.
Wow.
Right here in the Bahamas.
That's right. And I would say he's the first, or the only Bahamian, maybe he's more, but competed for Great Britain and then the Bahamas.
The Bahamas, yeah.
I can remember him taking the flag in '96 Olympics, I think it was.
Then in '88, he was the oldest Olympic to take part, oldest person to take part in the Olympic Games.
Yeah, so there's some good history from our BOC.
Yeah, and he's the second oldest Olympian, gold medalist alive today.
Wow.
The other guy, he's 105, so David is 97. So they would say you're going to catch him up. I don't know how you catch him up.
But let me ask you a question. I remember Salim, the part is saying about building a Hall of Fame for the Olympic movement in the Bahamas.
Mhm.
Is that still on?
That
The
is still
administration?
on. That is still on. Well, we had the property and then it was removed from us, so now we're waiting to get another piece of property, or we're gonna get our own property, because we had a piece at the Queen Elizabeth Sports Center. But through the development or redevelopment of the sports center, we lost that. So they're looking for another place for us. If that don't, then we get our own place. That it's important for us to build an Olympic museum, an Olympic academy, and to get things going. But Olympic Academy is all over the world. It's very successful. It's a big thing. You know, you go down to those places. Like I went to just in Guatemala the other day. They have a big Olympic academy there. They have their own doctors, their own physiotherapists. Everybody is there. You can bring your team in and they can live there until time to travel, once you select it.
So how soon we gonna get this?
Well, I guess if we can get it from us to when they will give us a piece of property, I guess early next year we should have the final say as to where we're gonna go. We'd like to have it at the sports center because it makes good sense at the sports center. And we have several schools there. And
Right.
people can come there and look through and look at the old the person who've been to the Olympic Games and look at all the Olympic paraphernalia.
That's right.
Yeah, we
And
can
the
do
next
that.
thing, securing Olympic medals, because we had about, I think it's 3 taken from various athletes' homes.
Yeah, well, that's one of the things that we went after when after we got elected in 2008, to make sure that we receive that our athletes receive all their medals. We went at that. We got Pauline Davis, who was from 2000. She got it in 2009. We got the ladies from swimming from 2007. And in Rio de Janeiro, we got those for them. And then the last set was on the 29th of July this year.
The men.
The
men 4x4.
Yeah, we were constant on the IOC and the constant. But after the case was finished, there's no use them having it there. And we got them.
And these are original medals at the game.
They got it from the athletes. The athletes had to send them back.
Wow.
You
So that was a really big,
Yeah.
it's sort of remarkable for us to do this.
know. So now I didn't know that the Bahamas don't play.
That's right.
You cheat the Bahamas are coming after you.
That's right, man.
Once you find out.
So, and tell me something, safety of the medals too. The safety, I've known of 2-3 cases where athletes' medals were
Yeah.
sort of stolen. And would the BOC have something to do with that with this
No.
new museum?
But we won't put the athletes' medal in there. Probably get a replica medal.
And the memorabilia as
Yeah,
well.
memorabilia and all of that to put in there, unless they want to give it to you. You know, so Dewitt knows they want to give you a lot of things. And the sporting people might want to give you a lot of things to put in there for educational purposes for the children
That's right,
to come in there and see it. And our building will be secured, I'm sure of that.
yeah. So this is not far off, because.
No, this not far off. This right in.
Yeah,
in the tip.
so that's something you're working on right
Yeah,
now,
yeah,
first,
yes,
the committee.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, so tell us a bit more about, say, your day-to-day running. Is this a full-time job now as president?
Yes. We have, present in the office, we have 3 persons employed, 2 persons employed full-time, we have 3 persons there. And it's a busy time, but people don't understand the amount of volume of correspondence we have, and you gotta reply. Then the person who doing Olympic solidarity, that person hardly can move from anything because he's focused on Olympic solidarity. There's so many back and forth from the federation to the Olympic to the IOC, because we gotta make sure and get everything right. They send us $20,000 for something, we gotta make sure and have all the receipt and give good account. Because if you don't, you won't get no more money. So you gotta stay with your a good balance all the time. And you know, with 3-4 games next year, it's gonna be busy in time of registration athletes and all of that, and getting ticket and making reservation with airlines and all of that. So it's gonna be one busy time in that office.
Do you take part in, I was reading an article about Jamaicans, about doping.
Mhm.
They send the team in to sort of try to construct their doping committee a little better. Do you do this as a BOC chief?
No, we used to. We used to, but now that they have BACO, Bahamas Anti-Doping Association.
It's not run through your office?
No, it used to run through our office.
So it's,
Anti-doping, but after it was formed, because we had a first anti-doping meeting here in 2009,
okay.
Then right from there it was formed because we had it with Rado that came here for a whole day to spend time here to give seminars and stuff. Then from there the Bahamas Anti-Doping was formed. And that's good because they competed and putting the time into it. They have full staff and all that.
So that's a full staff?
Yeah, that's a full staff.
So who heads it? I mean, who runs it? Our government?
No, that's the independent. Dr. Lightburn is the chairman of that.
And they're affiliated probably with various associations?
WADO, affiliated with RADO. RADO is the regional one, and WADO is the worldwide one.
Anti-doping.
Worldwide anti-doping.
And it has nothing to do with the Olympic movement around the world?
No, the Olympic movement, well, because it's involved in sports, the Olympic movement plays a part in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Olympic movement plays a part in it. We used to do it, but we just give it up.
Okay, let's change the topic a bit. Let's go back to your refereeing. Do we have any international referees in terms of any sports during the Olympics or any games?
Yeah, well, the Americas, the Pan American Games, we have a lot of Pan American Games. We have a lot of our referees, and the CSC Games. We have a lot of our referees. We have some in swimming. We have some in boxing.
Commonwealth Games, CAC Games.
CAC Games, Commonwealth Games too. We have some in boxing. Yeah.
Pan Games.
Sergeant Pan Games.
And what about officiating? Like we have a lot of statisticians.
No, we haven't officiated yet.
And how about any pro like say pro referees, say in the NFL?
No. That's what I'm telling you. That we gotta educate Bahamian, and that there's a whole field of different sports that you can make money from and a good living from. But you gotta get yourself qualified, and I'm sure the barrier is going to be high, and the ceiling is going to be tough to get through. But Michael Thompson break through, and
that's right.
And softball, basketball, Benny Ford break through, and baseball. So we had Andre Rogers played baseball. So it's not impossible. Rick Fox played it in basketball. They all have touring. So it's not impossible. It's just that we have to start focusing our people on those things, and that's what the Olympic Committee plan to do next year. Focus. We plan to have our own job fair, which involves around sports.
Right.
That letting people know that Darwin is the amount of opportunities in sports.
Yeah, that's right.
You don't have to be the competitor. You could be an agent, you could be a manager, you could be a masseur, you could be a doctor, you could be a sports lawyer. All of that is a business.
That's right.
Masseurs make money, chiropractors make money. These guys, you see 12 men on the team on the basketball, but they carry like what, 37 person all together. You could get to make good money off golf, being a good caddy. But you got to put your effort into it and really get them.
So that's something your committee's going to be working on.
Oh yeah. We want to open up the opportunities or show people the opportunities in sports. That you don't have to be on the field of play to take part in the actual physical game. You could be a referee, a judge, and make money from it.
That's right.
There's a lot of avenues in sports.
And that's very lucrative, being an NBA referee, NFL referee.
Yeah, and then you travel all over the world. All over America, you live good.
So do you have a favorite NBA team or NFL team?
No, I stopped pulling for teams. I just
enjoy the games.
Enjoy the games. Yeah, it was hard.
So what about that last fight, Pacquiao
and the guy.
Yeah.
That was a good fight. And what it's doing now is really bringing Pacquiao and Mayweather together. They're really bringing Pacquiao, and that's going to be a huge fight.
Yeah.
For those two.
Yeah, and I would say to see those two fight, man, that would be
That's
one
what
of the
we're going to see. That's what
that'd be one of the biggest push.
Yeah.
So you want to give any shout outs to anybody as we close?
Oh, I want to thank all the people, all these various presidents from various sporting organizations. I want to thank them for giving up their time, their money, their family time, their personal time in order to promote sports in this country. There's a lot of sacrifice that sports leaders make that go unnoticed. And I believe it's time for us to be noticed in sports. And not just looking at us as somebody who want to run around and do things. We are also intelligent people. And I would like to see, when the government, when the Prime Minister making the speech and when he giving all of these introductions with these people, talk about the sports leaders in this speech.
Okay.
Introducing them. Because sports plays a big part and it can help this country. If we're going to do it, we're going to show them to do that.
Yes. Yes, I want to thank my listeners out there, also Mr. Miller, for taking out this time to be with us, and my sponsors, Bahamas Business Solution, and my great engineer, VANN. And don't forget to like us on Facebook, Hanging Out with T-Roy.
It was good to be here, and I'm proud to come on anytime because we need to get the Olympic message out.
Yeah,
This is a good avenue. And, feel free to call us. And
you leave your numbers?
I can send someone else to be on the show.
Yes.
Because you get it from different part.
Yes, and sure, Mr. Miller, you'll be back here. And everybody, look on the website. Our website will have some links into the BEOC committee. And again, thank you for listening. Thanks for listening. I will go by fast.
Yeah.